Let's break it down with Hand of the Week.
We are back with another Hand of the Week. Patrick, how you doing, man?
I am good. Joe, how are you, my friend?
I am good. We had quite a storm last night. We lost power.
We did multiple times from what I was up for a little bit, saw one of them flicker for a little, it was like a couple minutes, and then I guess we lost power there for a little while. We were asleep for that part of it.
It could be worse. We got it back on pretty quick. The guys around here, they usually get the power on pretty quick, so that's good.
Yeah, except for if you remember correctly, Christmas.
Yes.
And it was 20 degrees.
Yes.
December 23rd, 24th. Oh yeah, it was real cold.
Yeah, that is true.
But you know what? Other than that,
yeah.
But they had a lot to work on that one. So, but yeah, otherwise they're pretty good around here.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to play a tournament this week?
Let's do it. Absolutely.
This Hand of the Week is sent in by Nick Dunn, and he's playing a $55 daily tournament at his local casino. So his starting stack is 10K, and we're at the blind levels of 50 and 100, so it sounds like we're in our first blind level.
Okay.
He says we don't have any info on the opponent as we have really just started the tournament. So yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
We're under the gun with the Ace of Diamonds, King of Clubs.
Okay. Ace of Diamonds, King of Clubs, under the gun. All
so
right.
You're first to act with a great starting hand and early in the tournament. So how do you start things off here?
I'm betting 500.
Okay, so you're going to go 5 times the big blind.
Yes. I'm gonna set the tone real early. Great hand early in the tournament. Setting the tone. I'm gonna be that guy.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a little high. Especially early in the tournament, but hey, you know what? If you set that tone early, then people are going to respect those raises later. So
yeah, exactly. Plus, you got some guys. They've got some bigger, chip stacks right now. Maybe they're thinking they can do the exact same thing. And I'm going Ace King. I like it.
Yeah. The only thing I would say with that is if you are going to open that big, you still have to be willing to get away from the hand later if things go crazy, right?
Sure.
So as long as you're willing to release the hand if you need to, then I think that's fine.
Okay.
But Nick opens to 250, which is probably closer to where I would have been.
Okay.
And it folds around to the cutoff, who 3-bets us to 700. So now we're right around where you were anyway, so it works out.
So that guy's got the same mentality. Well, in that case, then yes, I'm definitely going to call this.
Well, yeah, the button calls as well, and the blinds fold. Okay. So then you call the 700. I think a call is perfect. I don't think we need to be raising by any means.
No.
Probably looking at small pocket pairs from one or both of them.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think you're getting 2 folds here if you 3-bet them or something like that. So.
No, I wouldn't imagine so either. Or especially early on too. You haven't really set a precedent of who you are, how you're playing, or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, Nick goes with the 4-bet.
Oh.
Nick puts it into 2,800.
Good. Okay.
So he goes 4 times, which is pretty typical to go 4 times whatever the 3-bet is. So he goes 2,800. The cutoff then folds, that was the original raiser, right? Yeah. So the one who 3-bet us folds, but the button calls.
Oh wow! I don't think Nick was wanting that one necessarily, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly opposite of what I thought was going to happen. I figured the button would fold and the cutoff would call, but the button that makes me think even more so that he has a small pocket pair of some kind, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that I like the play. I understand it. If we were heads up, then I think you get maybe a fold, but I don't think you're getting a fold from both players, and that's exactly
right
where we're at.
Exactly what happened. Just not the guy that we were thinking that was going to fold, but which actually kind of makes it even more of a a mystery on that one. So
exactly,
interesting.
Exactly. And then our flop comes out 9 deuce 3, all diamonds.
All right.
Here's the good news: we've got the ace of diamonds in our hand, right?
Yep.
So what do you think you're going to do with that? You going to continue to be the aggressor in a case like this, or see if we can peel one?
I'm gonna back it down a little bit. I'm still again playing my hand. So I went originally if I went 5 and then called the 7. If we're playing that, I'm probably gonna go. So pot would be. I'm still going to be aggressive, but not way over the top. I'm probably going to go 750 with my bet if we were playing my hand.
So what's in the pot?
That's
what's
going
in
to be about a quarter. Yeah. If we were playing my hand, it would have been 5. So it would have been 7 and 7. So it would have been like 2,000 maybe a little 2,200 something like that. So right around a quarter of a pot or a little bit more.
As it stands with the.
With Nick's, the pot is
like
significantly
6,000 or something like that.
It's 6,000. So playing Nick's hand, I'm probably going. I'm thinking a quarter of a pot of a bet. It's kind of what I was thinking. So I'm thinking something like 1,500, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
what do you think of the thought process?
I think that 14, 15, 16, even somewhere in that range, I think is probably a good bet.
Okay.
However, Nick checks.
Interesting.
I'm not sure.
Is that I wonder if that's maybe he wasn't expecting the call at all. When he came back over with the 4 bet, he was expecting both the fold, and now doesn't know what to do with it. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like you got in this spot with aggression. You have the nut flush draw. You've got to.
Yeah, why would you?
You've got to at least do something there. I don't understand a check at all.
Neither do I.
But that's what Nick does, and the big blind checks back.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not.
This took a complete turn that I never expected.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm not. I don't like that. I don't like that play at all. But it goes check, check. The turn is the king of diamonds. So we made our nut flush. You gotta love that card, right?
I mean, that's winner.
So
can't go. I mean, straight flush would be. I mean, that's nothing out there. There's really not.
9 deuce 3, king, all diamonds.
Yeah. Unless he's sitting there with pocket 9s, pocket deuces, pocket 3s. I mean, which still should be good. Well, in this case, I mean, the pot hasn't changed. I'm definitely going strong here. So the pot was still at 6, right? Isn't that what we kind of determined?
Somewhere around that.
So they went check. I'm going. I'm probably 3,500.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Nick goes a little small, in my opinion. He bets 1,500.
Okay.
Maybe looking for a call.
Yeah.
If it went check, I get that. I would.
My thought process is I want to take this pot down real. I mean, it's early in the tournament. I mean,
there's a lot out there already, so for sure.
So
I would have been good with a half pot or even 3/4 pot.
Okay.
We've made our hand, right? We made our hand.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like we missed some value already by not betting the flop. So, yeah, I would definitely want to see us bet bigger here.
Yeah.
But he bets 1,500 and the button calls. And the river is the 2 of clubs.
Well,
now the board pairs.
Which is the only scary thing out there.
Yeah.
But is he really going this far? Is he really going this far with pocket twos?
No, and maybe not pocket twos, but if he had a set, then now he's got a boat.
True.
The villain's been all over the bets so far, but they've all been small. So, what do you do with that, Patrick?
I mean, we've done. So he did 1,500, so that's another 3. So pot's at 9. I'm still going to be the aggressor. I mean, pot's at 9. I'm probably going again. I don't know, probably 4,500. I mean, another half of the stack at least. I mean, I still think we have it.
Yeah, I mean, again, the only thing that scares us is if he had a small pocket pair. I don't think twos are going this far.
You really think nines are going this far either?
I mean,
maybe
because he bet so small, then they could. I think, if he would have bet a little bigger, if he would have bet the flop and then bet bigger on the turn, then I think this hand's over already.
Yeah.
But here we are. Well, Nick checks.
What did Nick end up doing?
And
okay. So he got scared of the boat.
The villain jams the final 5,700 in.
So he's got his boat.
Gross.
Or at least he's pretending to.
Well, we did. I mean, it would make sense to pretend to because we really haven't shown any strength in this hand.
Yeah, none at all.
Even with a set, even if he did just have a 3 of a kind, which, I mean, obviously at this point now would be a boat, but even if that wasn't the case, maybe he played ace deuce and has 3 deuces,
Yeah.
Even if that were the case, then I feel like you might be able to try and get the way Nick played it, get him off of this hand if you're the villain. So, that would be a possibility. But what do you do here? Do you call it?
In Nick's position, no. I'm looking back and saying, hey, I didn't play this exactly how I probably should have or I wanted to, but I'm living to fight another day. I mean, I make him on his boat.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to.
He doesn't really say if this is a rebuy tournament either.
Yeah.
But if it's not a rebuy tournament, then I guess you have to give him credit for the boat. Gross. Just gross.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great word for it, Joe. Just gross across the board. Well, what did Nick do?
So Nick eventually settles on a call. And
well, it makes me feel good because I want to know what the guy's got. But what happened?
Villain shows pocket 9s.
Well, that guy's feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, again, if we bet flop and turn, and then we're putting them in the tough spot instead of us.
Yeah.
So they're probably folding before.
I mean, he may have, if we bet the flop, he may have called and continued on. But if you bet flop and turn strong, there's no way he continues. No way. Especially because the diamond comes out on the turn. I mean, that makes us. If I'm sitting there with 9s, I mean, I'm not making that call. But to answer your question.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely, especially if you go big, 3/4 pot. I think even half pot, you're making it not worth it for a call, but definitely 3/4 pot would have got him off of that hand. At the very least, we would feel good that we got them to put the money in bad, even if they got lucky, right? But as it stands, we did not play that hand well at all.
No.
So
unfortunately, he did not.
So Nick, there's a lot to be unpacked here. There's quite a few mistakes in this hand, I would say, but I would think the biggest. I mean, let's start at the beginning. I don't like the 4-bet.
Yep.
And then from there, I think you've got to be more aggressive too aggressive pre-flop and not aggressive enough post-flop.
Not aggressive enough.
So that's
I mean, I feel like if we play Monday morning quarterback, he calls the 3-bets pre-flop.
Right.
Flop comes out. He's got nut flush draw. If he goes aggressive there, half pot at least.
Right.
Whether we push that guy out after that or not, let's just say he doesn't. Let's say the guy calls. Then you go to the turn and we get the last diamond we need, and you go another half pot at that point. There's no way that guy's calling at that point. Or if he is, at least like you said, he's putting in bad money.
Right.
And then he gets lucky on the river, then so be it. We wash our hands of that one. But I feel like that's kind of the best way to play it if we're Monday morning quarterback and then looking at that. So
yeah.
I mean, tough beat all around.
Yeah, that is tough, Nick. But I think for future reference, just continue the aggression. Continue to be aggressive once you get to the flop, turn, etc. You can't wait to make your hand before getting aggressive. So that would be my advice there.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you or anyone else has a hand of the week that they would like Patrick and I break down, send it to podcast@anteupmagazine.com. Patrick, appreciate you doing this again.
It is my pleasure as always. Joe, you have a good one, and we'll talk to you again here soon.
That sounds good. Thanks, Patrick.